Ms. Robinson, are you ready to proceed on Mr. Pruitt?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right. We'll put that on. We'll put those two files on the record. So we're on the record in docket 22-02490 and 22-02739. People of the state of Michigan versus Edric Pruitt. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Amir Shmawi, Assistant City Attorney on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Erin Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Pruitt.
This is the time set for a pre-trial on Mr. Pruitt. And it's my understanding, if I've been advised that Mr. Pruitt is not willing to join us this morning from his cell. I will indicate, I believe this to be the second time that Mr. Pruitt refuses to leave his cell, is my understanding. And we did not bench warn him for fail to appear last time, since we know where he is. He's just not leaving his cell. And then Ms. Robinson, you indicated you may have a chance to talk to him about some of the ramifications of that, because I do think that there was at least some offers in this case from the city. But
yes, Your Honor, we had a global resolution set up, but we need Mr. Pruitt to be in court in order to
correct. So I will Miss Rishmawi, how would you like to proceed today from the city?
Your Honor, could
yes.
I speak to this topic, Your Honor?
Absolutely, Ms. O'Boyle. You can place your presence for the record too.
Thank you very much. Amanda O'Boyle, appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing. We certainly defer to the court's discretion on this topic, but I would find that the actions of Mr. Pruitt at this time would certainly meet the elements of contempt of court for refusing to appear, even though he is mere feet away. There was an offer extended in which he would get credit for time served and released today. And I think perhaps if Ms. Robinson can have a persuasive conversation with him, that if he comes to court and avails himself to the court, that's what the offer is from the city, and he would be, released unless there's something else barring his release today. Otherwise, the city would be seeking the request of the court to hold him in contempt of court, and then, proceed to jail as warranted by the court's discretion.
Ms. Robinson, response?
Yes, Your Honor. I did speak to Mr. Pruitt, and I did convey the offer to him. His refusal today just indicates to me that maybe something bigger is going on here. I don't know if a contempt of court is going to make the situation any easier or feasible. We have Mr. Pruitt here on some trespass cases. He also has a trespass out in 55th. These are 30-day misdemeanors. They're not major cases. And we know that Mr. Pruitt is, struggling with homelessness and some mental health issues. So I believe that these cases that we're here on today, PR actually today on these ones, he is being held, I believe, on the 55th case. I was not able to confirm with that. Unfortunately, the attorney that is out there did not put notes in the file on the bond, so I wasn't able to confirm that bond status out there, but I believe that he is being held out there just based on previous interactions. So my suggestion is that we leave these set. He's PR'd on these files. I think he's got some other files that PR in 21 days as well, and those still have time on them. I think he's being held on the 55th case. And then what I'm going to do this week is I will attempt to meet with him yet again. If I'm unable to do so, I think possibly a competency petition is in order for him, but I just don't think a contempt of court charge is going to do anything. He's already in jail. We know where he is. And I don't think, being held in contempt for possible mental health issues or a mental health breakdown is really in the interest of justice in this case.
He was arraigned on these files on the 12th. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, so he's approaching I don't think we're even holding him on these files anymore.
No, he's to PR on these files today or tomorrow. My notes say tomorrow, but I think they get like an extra day credit from the day that they were arraigned. So I think it's actually today.
I'm reluctant to hold him in contempt at this time. What I think we're dealing with is, and Ms. Robinson, I'm going to leave it in your capable hands, is a mental health issue. This is now it's become somewhat unreasonable in regards to not showing up. What's our next ordinance date? I guess what I'm gonna indicate today is I'm gonna indicate he's failed to appear. I'm not going to find him in contempt. But Ms. Robinson, I'm kind of putting the ball in your court to talk to him, to recognize if he's somebody who needs to go to forensics. I'll sign that order. That this is not reasonable anymore. I agree. Holding him another 30 days on a mental health issue is not the answer. That's just, to me, that's just not the answer.
Absolutely, Judge. And as I said, I will attempt to speak to him yet again. And I mean, I did speak to, usually, I relayed the message of that we had a time served offer for him, and usually that gets him here in court. However, that didn't do the job today. So, to me, that indicates that there is something more serious going on, mental health wise. So I'll set up a polycom with him for tomorrow or Thursday. And if I'm still unable to meet with him, I'll file a competency petition before the next date.
All right, that's my fear. And of course, we've all dealt with Mr. Pruitt before, and this is the first go. This is not the court's first go round with him, but this is the first time he's in. Usually it's, if I'm getting out, I think I'm okay. And now it's, I'm not coming out of my cell, and that's a little different. That's a little different pattern for Mr. Pruitt. What's the date we can set this for?
November 15th at 9:30.
So we'll set it for November 15th at 9:30. And then we'll wait to hear from you, Ms. Robinson, concerning that date, and then any updates you can give us on that. How long is, if you know, Ms. Robinson, how long is the 55th? How long is he held on the trespassing out of 55th? At some point in time, they'll just decide to PT him up, PRT, or to PR bond him on everything, I think.
I'm actually unsure. I know it's a Judge Allen case, and he sometimes has different views on bond on those types of cases. But I did relay that message to the attorneys out there who are handling his case, and hopefully I hear back from them shortly.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're going to adjourn this for defendant failed to appear. I'm not going to hold him in contempt. Not held in contempt at this point, and I'll let Ms. Robinson have another speak with him concerning these matters, and we'll set it for November 15th at 9:30. Anything else from the city, Ms. Rishmawi?
Your Honor, thank you.
Anything, Ms. O'Boyle?
Your Honor, I just want to note the city's concern that I have interacted with Mr. Pruitt on several occasions. I don't actually think he lacks competency as it relates to court matters. He seems to understand the nature of the charges that he's facing. He knows who he is, where he is. He understands generally, what day of the week and those sort of matters. I don't dispute that there are some underlying mental health concerns related to Mr. Pruitt. And I find that his antics, as it relates to him refusing to come out of the cell, I think he fully understands what he's doing and when he is doing them. I don't know. I'm concerned that moving forward, that if he doesn't face any consequences, that he will continue his antics, which certainly places a burden upon those down in the detention center that have to try to corral and move inmates in a you know, a manner that is effective and efficient for court procedures. And I just wanted to express that concern.
Thank you. I understand that, and you know, I understand that the burden that Mr. Pruitt's behavior is placing on the system on some level. This is new on my watch. This is kind of new that he's that usually he shows some difficulty, but this is now a different type of difficulty that he's showing, and so I'm going to allow some leeway. But he's running out of time. He's running out of time just on the amount of time we can incarcerate him, because he's PRT, because he's going to be PR bonded on all these cases, you know, eventually. And maybe that's the plan. I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll see what happens on November 15th. Ms. Robinson, it's kind of in your court. Do you have any questions?
No,
or
Your Honor,
responses?
thank you.
All right. That's all for the record in docket 22-02739 and 22-02490.
Thank you.
So we're on the record in docket 22-02166, people of the state of Michigan versus Willie James Jr. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Andrew Stevens on behalf of the people. Thank you, Your Honor, and good morning. Jared Austin appearing on behalf of Mr. Willie James Jr. He is present with me at council table. Also appearing with me on behalf of Mr. James is Mr. Stephen Cornish.
And you are Willie James Jr.? All right, thank you. Mr. Stevens, is the time set for preliminary examination. How are we proceeding today? We've had some preliminary discussions concerning this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor is correct. Mr. Cornish, Mr. Austin, and myself discussed the matter this morning, specifically an issue that came about late yesterday afternoon regarding discovery. Specifically, in this case, the last time you were here, I indicated to the court that this case has voluminous discovery, and that comes in a number of different ways, both by reports and documents, but also video and photographic evidence. Nearly all of the photographic and video evidence is shared by a service called evidence.com, and it is my understanding that Mr. Austin and Mr. Cornish received all of that or everything that was in the evidence.com cloud-based evidence sharing program late yesterday, which is problematic because nearly everything that I had marked and ready to begin or to present today derives from that. And so their opportunity to review it is certainly limited. Unclear, the people are unclear as to why that hadn't been shared beforehand. So I'm certainly going to look into it. I suspect, as I explained to them off the record and to Your Honor off the record, that there were only 3 items added recently. And when I asked that those 3 items be shared with the defense, there must have been some realization that the other hundreds of other items hadn't been shared, and it was all dumped on them again late yesterday. And so because of that, certainly the defense is requesting an adjournment, but the people would join in that out of certainly good cause and fairness to both. Actually covers it unless Mr. Austin wants to add anything to it, and he certainly is entitled to doing that. And we have set a new date for the preliminary examination, which would be January 10th, 2023, I believe at 8:30.
Thank you. Mr. Austin, anything?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I would concur in the statements of Mr. Stevens. It appears 3:18 yesterday, less than 2 hours left in the business day, received a notification from evidence.com. And there appeared to be over 400 files on there, mostly consisting of audio and video files. Obviously, either Mr. Cornish and myself, individually or collectively, did not have adequate time to look through all of them, and just as importantly, be able to discuss them with Mr. James. It would be extremely crucial and necessary for us to have that opportunity so we can be fully prepared to conduct this preliminary examination. And that is why we're making the request for the adjournment. Thank you.
Right. And it's my understanding that the 21-day was waived on September 15th, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor, or it may have been the 22nd, but
Right.
either way, that has already happened.
All right. So the court will indicate that the adjournment is granted, mostly due to discovery issues for both sides. The court will indicate for the record that this does not seem to be, Mr. Stevens was not aware of this. He was actually in court marking exhibits yesterday for today. So there does seem to be some issue with making sure that the defense has all the discovery. It's voluminous discovery, as you're well certain. You certainly understand. So we will set this for a new date on January 10th, 2023 at 8:30. And we'll set aside another day for it. And then if any discovery issues return, just let the court know and we'll set it for a hearing. Anything else for the record, Mr. Stevens?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Austin, on docket 22-02166?
Nothing further on behalf of Mr. James, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. James, we'll see you on January 10th at 8:30, okay? All right. That's all for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.